I turned the mute off. So I'm figuring y'all can hear me today. And thank you all for tuning into the show tonight. And I especially want to thank everyone that hung out last week while I just was like for 15 minutes before I discovered that there was no sound. But I'm going to do a replay of last week's presentation this week, because it came out so good. And it was like, oh my God, why does that always happen when it comes out really good and you're in the flow and vibing with it and then you're muted? I don't know, but that it is what it is. So today's topic is meditation. And so when most people think of meditation, they think of, the guru sitting on the mountain with their legs crossed in a lotus position, just in their own little place, in their own little piece of space, oblivious to the world around them. And when you think about that kind of meditation where you close your eyes and you focus on not having thoughts enter your mind, or you focus on a mantra, or you focus on something, but in that seated, quiet place, that's a form of passive meditation. And this has been my experience working with clients, is that is a very challenging practice for many people. It is very hard for us to calm our mind and keep it quiet. And so passive meditation can be a bit challenging. But again, when you do any of these mindfulness type techniques, it really is a practice. But I want to talk about a different kind of meditation, and it's called active meditation. But before I get into that, let me talk about what the purpose of meditation is, so that you understand what the goal is, because I think it will make the whole idea make more sense to you. So the goal of meditation is to focus your mind on something. And when your mind is focused on this one thing, all of the other issues that might be bubbling up in your subconscious have the opportunity to be let go. Because normally we're thinking about all kinds of different things. We're thinking about work, and then we're thinking about our cat, and then we're thinking about what are we going to have for dinner. And it seems like all of those thoughts only ever come to the surface as soon as we close our eyes and try to do traditional meditation, which is a pretty common thing for all of us. But again, that passive meditation or active meditation opens the door to a whole bunch of other things that are more active, that can give you that same peace of mind and that same identification of focus, where you can get the same benefits as if you're sitting on the top of a mountain. So think about the times you've gone for a walk in the park, and you're moving down the trail, and you're looking at the trees, and you're listening to the birds sing, and everything just seems really great, and you feel very content and one with the world and energized, and you just feel good when you're done. And one of the reasons that you feel good when you're done is because you've been focusing on what's going on around you, what's going on inside of you. And it's that focus that allows all of that transient energy to be let go. One of the myths that is tied to meditation also, is that it's hard, which if you haven't practiced it, or if you're not really willing to practice it, it can seem challenging, or that you have to spend a long time in this meditative posture. I have to spend an hour meditating. But you can meditate for 15 minutes, you can meditate for a half hour, but you can also actually meditate for little mini meditations. And we've talked about a few different forms, but I'm going to bring it back up now. Excuse me, but Raylan is wanting to play and is kind of driving me crazy. So, so breathing, you can use your breathing as a form of mini meditation. And so one breathing style is called the 7-4-7-8 breath. And basically all you do is you breathe in for 4, hold it for 7, and exhale for 8. And if you do that 3 or 4 times or 8 times, it will take you a minute or two, but the possibilities of what you're letting go is wonderful. And what is the focus? The focus is on the counting. You count, to 4 in your head. You count to 7 in your head. You count to 8 in your head. So instead of thinking about the cat, or you might be like holding your breath for that 7, and the idea the cat comes in, come back to the counting, come back to the counting. And one of the things that I found is that when I'm doing an exercise or using a technique like that, and I'm counting like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it tells me that there's a lot of my energy all wound up, and I need to take it and slow it down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that will even give you a better sense of relaxation in this little mini meditation. And if you do these little mini meditations throughout the day, you're training your body to discharge. But there are so many things you can do. I mentioned going for a walk in the park or doing some breath work. But you can go and you can love on your fur babies and give them pets. You can do the breathing. You can do some tapping. You can go to the gym and really focus on your workout. One of my personal favorites is you can clean your house. You can do a crafting project. There are those coloring books that you can get, and they can be extremely meditative if you just sit there with your crayons or color pencils or whatever and really focus on filling it in. It causes you to, again, focus the mind on an idea. But there's also like journaling. There are very traditional forms of, and I'm going to say meditation, or tools that will cause you to create that focus. And the idea of creating that focus is meditation. It is meditation, no matter what anybody wants to say to you, that you can do to experience that release, to experience the discharge that normally comes along with life. And one of the things that I think is most important that I mentioned a little bit earlier is all about training your body to release. I know for myself, because I've been doing this work for so long, that as soon as I close my eyes and I start to take a deep breath, or as soon as I close my eyes and I start to tap, or whatever it is I'm choosing to do, I can feel my body naturally responding in a release response, because I've trained it to do that. And then when there's something that's going on, all you need to do is do that. I joke around that many times there's something going on and we're upset. And then we reach into the junk drawer and we pull out some tool that we haven't used in 10 years and we dust it off. And then we wonder why it doesn't work. And the key is to keep those tools in practice, keep your body in alignment with those tools so that when you need it, you have it there to use. And so if you're not really sure what to do, there's a YouTube channel that I really enjoy. And the channel is at, the at symbol and then calm, CALM, at calm. I'm sorry, I'm getting over being sick from last week. And on that channel, they have these little like 30-second mindfulness moments. That's what I'm going to call them, mindfulness moments. And it'll have a video of water going through a stream and you can hear it and you can hear the birds sing and you can just watch it and be with the little calm meditation. And even doing something like that every day is going to get you to that place, get you to that calm, relaxed place much easier than if you decide, well, there's something going on and I'm going to meditate for an hour. But if it's not something that you've been doing on a regular basis, it's going to be harder for you to get into that relaxing spot that I think we all want and need. And I'm going to bring this up now. And it's a question for you guys, and I would love to hear your commentary, and then I'm going to go do my regular thing. But how has your week been? It seems like this has just been a very odd, I'm going to say stressful week, a week where it's been really hard to let go of energy, even though there hasn't really been anything to point your finger at, but just, I don't really know. I mean, my goal this entire week has been just to breathe. And I know several other people that has been kind of their commentary, that it's been upsetting in weird ways and they can't really identify what's kind of set them off. So if your week has been that way also, I'd really like to hear your commentary, so we can share it with each other, because sometimes we end up in these cycles on the planet and we think that there's something going on with us, but it's not us. It's something that is happening to all of us. So again, your comments most welcome. So before I go in and say hi to everybody, I'm just going to do my little, usual announcements. And if you would like to schedule a private consultation with me, you can go to my webpage, soulhealer.com. And this is obviously, a live event. The sessions that I do with people do not go that deep. And so if there's something that I mentioned to you that you would like more clarity on, please do reach out to me to schedule a private session. I would love it if you joined my Facebook group, Dr. Rita Live on Facebook. I'm constantly posting stuff to it, little memes that are self-help, self-growth. Sometimes they're funny. I never know. Whatever strikes me, I'm sharing to that group. So I would hope you would like to come along on that journey with me. Or, subscribe to my page on YouTube, Just Energy Radio on YouTube. Like, subscribe, check it. Excuse me. Check it out. Share it with your friends. This show also streams to Rumble. It's Psychic Doc on Rumble, and please follow me there. Now, if you happen to be hearing this show on Rumble and would like to participate, you would need to go to either the YouTube stream or the Facebook stream in order to join the chat, because that's where the chat is hosted. And then last but not least, if you are interested in becoming a medical intuitive counselor, or certified energy medicine practitioner, my training at AppliedEnergeticsInstitute.com is now on sale and will be till the end of the month. And you can also go there and download my free Jumpstart Your Intuition guide, which is like 50 pages of information and exercises that can help you jumpstart your intuition. Okay, so let me change screens and say hi to people, and we'll kind of go to questions. Okay, so Marco was the first one in, and he said, "Hi, Rita, please don't forget to turn the sound on." Marco, I did it. I did it. And Amy's here. Hey, Miss Amy. And Mary. Hi, Mary. We got Bradley in the house. Hi, Bradley. Victoria. Hey, Victoria. Thank you so much for coming to the show today. Okay, Amy, I'm gonna come back to you. Veronica's here. She says meditation is relaxing. Otto's here. So I guess he came and I was actually talking, and it wasn't just dead air like that. Okay, let's see. Hey, Jody, nice seeing you. I'm actually speaking today, so thank you for coming and hearing today's little presentation. And Wendy's in the house. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Miss Denise. Nice seeing you. And Nicole. Well, welcome, Nicole, and thank you for tuning into Thursday Night Live. I hope you're enjoying it so far. I am going to go back to the top. Actually, I need to do that. So if you have a question, please post your detailed question in the chat box, and obviously no dead people. Okay, so let's see. So Amy says, Curtis is here with me. Perfect topic for him. He meditates every day, and that is so cool. I mean, it's a great tool regardless of what you do and what form of meditation floats your boat. It just leaves you feeling so much better in the long run, and you can be happier because you're not stuck in your own head. So Victoria says, this week has been okay, but it has been a bit of emotional ups and downs. See, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, and for not any reason that I could really personally grasp. Well, then she goes on and says, there wasn't any anger or anything, but I could see others who were about to have a meltdown. And I like that word because meltdown is a good word for things that, in my mind, shouldn't be so upsetting, or there's not really any reason to be upset in the first place. So Bradley says, like I was stuck in a black and white horror movie. I don't know. Mine was in full color, and not quite a horror movie, but not more like a suspense thriller. Yeah. Okay, let's see. So Denise says, hi, Dr. Rita. Thank you for your commentary on meditation. It was very helpful. I appreciate the @calm recommendation. Yeah, and one of the things about the @calm thing is that, if you sign up for the notifications, they release like at least one every day, sometimes 2 a day. And the other thing that I like is that it will loop. And so if they're doing one and you find it especially relaxing, you can just sit with it. And lozengers, I've been like lozenged up for the last few days, and just be with it. You don't have to just do it for the 30 seconds. You can do it for several minutes if you want. And they're just very enjoyable, very relaxing. So Otto says, we're having a full moon in 2 days, but I'm not feeling full moon. I mean, we have full moons every month, and it doesn't explain the weird vibe. I mean, the planet is just weird right now in general, but I'm not really understanding why. Okay, so we have Nicole here from Montreal. And so Nicole, so Facebook people cannot see what YouTube people say. So I'm just saying, So Nicole, Veronica said, wow, Montreal. And then Veronica says, full moons always stir up bad energy around me. Wow, we got like the whole Rios clan in here. So hi, Lisa, and thank you for coming. And Ricky and Jody's niece. So I guess, well, we're related. I'll just say that. I mean, somehow-ish. Yeah. But don't ask me how. Lisa Kelly is my niece. So she'd be like my second cousin, one of those things. It's one of those things. Nice to meet you, Lisa, and thank you for tuning into the show tonight. And then Veronica says, full moons are known to have thinner veil, hence more spiritual activity. And Veronica, and I'm just saying that we have full moons all the time. And this was just different. It's just been a different energy. I can't explain it, and I don't really understand it. Okay. So Lisa says, I've had a peace blanket on for the last few months with a person. Is that a thing? I've had a peace blanket on for the last few months with a person. So Lisa, I don't know what you mean. Whether it's a thing. I don't even know what a peace blanket is. So if you can explain that a little more so that I can understand, I can let you know if it's a thing. Wow. Hi, Jacob. Thank you so much for tuning into the show again. And it is so nice to see your name come up on the screen. And so Veronica says, it's not really meditation, but my cat will often search for me and then tap me. I always stop and give him my full attention. He reminds me not to be bogged down in work and to appreciate the simple things like petting a cat. And my point is, anything that's going to take your focus off of the crazy going on inside and focus it on something like petting your cat or feeling appreciation or feeling gratitude is a form of meditation. It causes the body to let go. Veronica says, my dog even feels it. And then Jacob says, we have a full moon tonight. And then Veronica says, full moon cycle includes 3 days before, 3 days after. Okay. Got a little heart from Lisa. Thanks, Lisa. And then, hi, Cindy. And she says, Stu is in the air. So Stu is Cindy's brother, and he is coming to Dallas. Okay. Hey, Miss Joe. And I'm so sorry that I missed you the other day, but I'm sure we will pull this together. And she says, hello. Are all the ways you can be accessed that you just mentioned listed anywhere? Well, that just like opened the door. So I talk about a lot of them in here. Dang, it was me all along, my new book. That I'm going to be having a book signing that I need to get pulled together in Marshall if you want to get a signed copy. Okay. Amy says, woke up every 45 minutes on Monday night, nightmares and all, completely off all day Tuesday. Lots of friends had similar out of balance stuff too. Thank you very much. Yeah, I wasn't sleeping. I didn't sleep very well the first part of the week. And then I think I was so tired that I actually like really slept last night, which was really good. Yay. Okay, so Lisa's back with the peace blanket. And she said, I meant to quote, peace blanket. It's a term I made up when I could no longer be angry at someone. But it comes quick and the anger is gone. It's been weird. I like that. When we get upset, when we get angry, when we experience emotions, and in particular negative emotions, when we're, when that happens, it's like we're kind of like knocked out of our body because we're not centered, we're not grounded, we're not whole. And so when we come back into being us, it's like that sense of peace, that sense of calmness, that sense of wholeness becomes restored. And again, and I think that that's a really great point that I'm going to add on to it. It has been very challenging this week to become balanced again, to restore that sense of wholeness. I mean, my whole week has been about breathe, so I talk about like bad brain or being in the rabbit hole. And so my mantra this week, no lie, was calm brain, calm body. Calm brain, like calm brain, calm body. Just to discharge because nothing was working at all. And then Veronica's still on the still say full moon energy. I'm going to disagree. Now, all right, Veronica, Miss Conspiracy Theorist, but we did just have all that cell phone weirdness happen today. So maybe there was like weird buzz happening out there that finally manifested as the cell phone issue. Just saying. And Lisa says, sorry for the confusion. Lisa, I'm confused all the time, so just don't even worry about it. But I appreciate you for explaining it and giving me the opportunity to talk about something kind of related. But I like that term, kind of surrounding yourself in that peace blanket. And actually, I just thought of this. If that's something that you visualize, like if you're angry and you just kind of wrap yourself in that peace blanket, like mentally and emotionally, and you find that it shifts your energy, that certainly in my book would be considered a form of meditation or a form of energy work, where I find performing energy work is a form of meditation. And I am so sorry about this cough. So Denise says, it has been a strange week for me so far. Negative energy has been strong. Anything that could go wrong did. Very stressful. Each situation resolved itself today, which is wonderful, which is why I'm talking about it, because the energy shifted today. I mean, the whole beginning of the week was just calm brain, calm body, calm brain. And then today it's like, I'm better. Whatever it was is done. And I don't really understand it. And that's why I'm kind of putting it out, because, if something is going on with me, it could just be my stuff. But when I talk to a couple of different people and they're reflecting, in their own way, the same kind of thing, then it makes me go, well, there maybe is something more on the planet going on. And so Denise, it gives you the opportunity to go, oh, it wasn't just me. There's something weird going on. And I was just sensitive enough to be part of it. Yay, you're sensitive enough to be part of it. So Veronica's back and says, there was a big cell phone outage last night and today. But Veronica, we don't know what led up to the cell phone outage and if there wasn't other things going on behind the scenes prior to the cell phone outage happening. Just saying, my little conspiracy mind says, well, it's possible. So just says, I meant how to find you on YouTube, Rumble, etc. I want to send friends. Okay, so Joe, this is for you. If on YouTube, if they go to Just Energy Radio, so that's my channel, it will be at Just Energy Radio. Or if they type my name in, Rita Louise, it'll bring up my channel, Just Energy Radio, and they can hit the live streams from there. They can also go to, on Facebook, Dr. Rita Louise Live, which is there. And that stream that shows up on that page is public. So they should be able to get it. And then on Rumble, my channel is Psychic Doc, and so it streams on there as well. So those are the three things. Probably the easiest is for them to go to YouTube and hit my channel, Just Energy Radio. And if they're there for the live, then there's a live tab and it'll show up there. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. All right. So Denise says, no problem with cell phone. However, my internet was down since early Wednesday until a couple of hours ago. You know, and I'm just going to tell you, mine's been a little bit flaky tonight. So if I fritz out, I'm fritzed out because it drops me from the stream and I can't reconnect to it. So just a heads up, you know, muting one day, drop out the next day. So Victoria says, there are 2 major solar flares today. Then poof, cell phones die. My internet went out Saturday through Monday. So it's been going on. Okay, so, you know, and if you're a ghosty person, you know that spirit travels on those electromagnetic waves. And so I can see where a bout of heavy electromagnetic radiation could be impacting us in a funky, weird way. So Cindy says, it was so nice not having a phone. Man, I must have slept through that whole thing because I didn't even know until they were talking about it on the news this morning. Otto said, I did a lot of time this week doing clearing work, yet today is doing better for me about 4 p.m. today. Exactly. I mean, I spent the whole week just really working on doing clearing work. And Joe said, my week was the same, but also shifted today. Yeah. All right. So Veronica has a question. The complex I live in has lots of difficult people. I try to avoid the blankheads, but they try to make trouble. I'm trying to find another place. Suggestions to cope in the meantime. You know, so Veronica, when I look at your energy in relationship to that, it's like it's really turned in. Come on up. All right, Raylan's joining the live stream today. It's really turned in, and you allow it to come in versus having your energy be out and having your energy be big, so they just can't bother you. I mean, it's almost like walking around like you're stuck up, you know, where it just isn't going to bother you at all. You know, I mean, they can be difficult, but let them be difficult. Who cares? They're just stupid neighbors that have nothing to do with you. Okay, so Veronica says, yay, Otto, and Joe says, thank you. Veronica says solar flares are a big deal. Yeah, they are a big deal. Cindy says, me too, 4 p.m. See, that is so weird. I mean, I was feeling better. I'm going to say better at like 2. But yeah, but by 4 o'clock, it was like, it was done. It was done. Okay, so Nicole says, hi, Nicole. I had a bad night and soaking wet in the early morning. That's a solar flare trouble. Interesting. That's how your body reacts. Well, and I think somebody said that we've had solar flares for the last 2 days. Well, I must be one of those contraries because I literally for the last 2 days have slept great. And I have not been sleeping very good recently. And yay, solar flare, I guess. Okay, so Joe says AT&T had a massive tech-related outage plus the massive solar flares. I wish I was there to make you a hot toddy. I would drink it. Okay, let's see. So Veronica says, my neighbor is a textbook narc. And if I had neighbors like that, I would just not interact with them, not look at them. I would just not give them energy because that's what they want is your energy. And so the less you give them, I mean, I can't understand. I guess I don't understand because I would just be like, go in my car, throwing the garbage away and not looking at them, not giving them anything to anything. Okay, bye, Raylan. Okay, so I'm down at the bottom of the list. Okay. And I might cut it a little short tonight, you guys. This cough is just annoying. Okay, conspiracy theories always say that when they don't want us to know something, they would shut down the phones and forms of communication. My boss's internet went out, so I had a free day, more or less. How cool is that? Well, and that was kind of some of the talk that I was hearing was, okay, so what's this all about? And are they just lining us up to get us used to having these down times and outages? So, whoever that is, I'm not even going to try to either pronounce. MV Stanchik says you should drink some Doubles brand coffee. I'm like, I don't even drink coffee. It's like, oh yeah, the sign. The sign. Yeah, this cough has been going on for a couple of weeks, and I was really sick last weekend and it just hasn't gone away, the cough part. And anytime I start talking a lot, like doing an interview or doing this show, I just start coughing, which is annoying even to me. Okay, so Eric's being a smartass and he says microphone works. Awesome. It's like, yeah. Eric. Hi, Nina. Thanks for coming. Okay. So Mary has a comment. I had an episode. Mary, I am not laughing at you, but I'm laughing at you. So she had an episode of sheep paralysis this past weekend. It has never happened before. My deceased husband yelled at me to wake up now. He never talked to me before. I instantly woke up, felt like I was being held down for a few seconds before I could move. What are your thoughts on this? I mean, when I look at it, it's like you were kind of in between sleep and in between being awake. Like, I don't even know how I would even explain it. It's like your brain was awake, but your body was still asleep. And how that can happen, I don't even know. So, no, I'm not feeling like I have like heavy duty thoughts on that. How's that? It wasn't a ghost thing. I'm just going to say it wasn't a ghost thing. And then Cindy says, is it the Reno work in the house causing the cough? I think some of it, but last weekend I was just really sick and literally got out of bed to drink water and just laid there the entire day and all night without opening my eyes because my whole head was just one giant chunk of congestion. And now it's just kind of sitting in my throat, which is where it kind of started before. Well, actually, it started in my sinuses. Because if it was in my lungs, I would be more concerned, but it's all just sitting in my throat. So I'm not really understanding that. Okay, Victoria says, I hope you feel better soon. I've had a cough since the end of January. I'm ready for it to be over. No kidding. One of the things that I've noticed with this cold or cough or whatever is, well, It's February. So a year ago, I got COVID and I still don't have my taste back or my taste back right. And now food is tasting awful again. And I'm like, I've already lost a bunch of weight and I really can't afford to lose more weight because food tastes awful. So Mary says, sleep. It's like, I've been working on it. I've been working on it. Marco says, oh shit, I'm here. It's like, yeah, you are. Uh-oh. And now the Marco and Veronica romance begins. Hi, Rita. Veronica, hey. And Victoria says, well, the sheep could have been heavy. You're cracking me up with the sheep. So Jeannie says, do your best to drink warm beverages only. Anything cold aggravates the throat. Sending love. Thank you, Jeannie. And I don't really drink cold beverages. And I find that the only time I start coughing is when I'm talking. And when I'm talking a lot, like doing this or doing an interview, which is, kind of what I do. So it needs to go away. And I've been sucking down lozenges being on the air, but it's not taking care of the tickle. All right, so Mary Lay said, cool, thanks. I wish I had like more information for you, Mary. And Marco's saying hi. Otto says, do you know of a way of having more interesting dreams, not scary dreams, but more interesting? So I'm not a dream person at all. I pride myself that up until like the last couple of years that I can hit the pillow within 15 minutes, I'm asleep. And then I don't wake up until whatever time, 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. And I sleep solid through. Nothing. And so, something that you might check out is something called lucid dreaming. I'm sorry. And it's a technique where you actually start to interact and participate in your dreams. I don't really have a lot of information about it, but I can point you in that direction so that you can become more involved with your dreams. So people that lucid dreams, suggest that they can fly in their dreams and they can do all of this stuff, kind of like astral travel, except in your dream space. Nina says, I wish I can make you ginger tea, but Nina, thank you. I think I will do that after the show. I didn't even think about sipping on that, which would be perfect. Marco says, Rita has the cough, being mean to me when she feels bad. Sorry you feel icky. I'm not being mean to you, Marco. I'm just being real. It's like, the Marco and Veronica love story. We're just all following it here. And Veronica says, stuff is blooming here. And I was thinking about that this morning. If there was some kind of an allergy thing going on. And Victoria says, try facial lymphatic massage. They help to open up and things starts to drain like they should. And that was the biggest issue. I mean, I spent an entire day just clogged and then it just decided to dump one day. Boy, y'all are like diagnosing me, And Otto says throat chakra. And then Marco says, Otto, sleep with crystals that make dreams interesting. Oh, so Marco's comment is, sleep with crystals that make dreaming interesting. So Veronica finally said hi to Marco in the little love romance we got going on. And she wants to know, does Marco sleep with crystals? So Marco says, Rita, your cough. This would have been a good night for me to take over my one night show. Okay, we're just going to keep moving that on that. Amy says, Austin moving up here to find work. Yay! Hopefully as a painter during the day and or bartender. Any insights for which direction should be the most focused? I mean, and I am not trying to be divisive here, but I'm feeling like it doesn't really matter. I feel like he just needs to get something and get in a rhythm and have something to do so he can ground into that environment. I'm not like vibing on either of those, to be honest with you, but it is something and it will make him feel more grounded and less floating around in space. And so pick one, pick the other. I think for his level of sensitivity, maybe the painting would be easier, because you're not in and around people. You can't bartend remote, but you can paint in a room by yourself. And Mary says, put some honey in the ginger tea. Got that. And Marco says, Amy, I will order vodka and tonic and tip. Well, how's that? You guys kill me. Marco says, I love when Rita does play to play, unless I skip your stuff, Marco. Otto says, if you are rehabbing the house, wear N95 or KN95 mask. Mold can be a problem. I mean, when I'm doing anything that has to do with dust, I totally have a mask. There's not mold because there's no sheetrock in the house, and the house hasn't had any water in. I got water this week, 2 months. I have running water in my kitchen. Woo! I did the happy dance on the front porch when that got turned on. But it is very dusty. And so whenever I'm doing anything like on the floor, because no water means you can't wash anything, I am always wearing a mask. Any kind of sanding, anything where there's any kind of particulate in the air, I'm wearing a mask. Let's see. So Veronica says, good point about the mold. Marco says, Amy, I love my drinking songs. I mean, okay, more a little romance going on here. Jeannie says, have you felt over the last year maybe that you couldn't say what you needed to say, so the cough in the throat may have something to do with a sense that when you tried to talk or express yourself, you were interrupted or stopped? Or maybe that your body has picked up on the worldwide cough, cough censorship. So I will answer that specifically, since it's like Rita Therapy Day. And I want to thank all of you for providing Rita Therapy Day. I would say, Jeannie, that this past year, I actually have opened up more and have expressed more than I ever have, because I really don't care anymore. And, I'll just say whatever needs to be said. I could see, doing some of the work in the house, creating an issue. But really, all of this started last week with me being sick, and it just hasn't, obviously hasn't fully resolved itself. So, but I like the ginger tea idea because that just feels really good. And I have been doing some other things, but and it's interesting because when I'm talking on the phone or I'm just like talking, no issue. It's when I'm doing these things, but when I'm doing interviews or I'm doing this presentation, it's me talking a lot and I tend to talk fast. And maybe I should need to just kind of slow it all down and slow me down. So Marco says, amen for running water. Mm. See, this is why I love Marco. He says, Rita, you might have a cough, but your hair looks fab. Thank you, Marco. Joe says, your symptoms are prevalent with a lot of folks right now. My youngest daughter is same. Thank you. Boyfriend, same thing. Got this weird cough, just won't go away. And it's just all sitting right in my throat. I mean, it's just this tickle that you just want to scratch. And the only way to scratch it is by coughing. Veronica says, Rita therapy, staying away from Walmart is good. I always stay away from Walmart unless totally desperate. Marco says, she loves me. Yeah, you know I love you. Marco said, did you notice Rita cannot read tonight? I can read. I'm choosing to skip over certain things, Marco. And yeah. So Cindy says, Mike has the cough too. So now it's not even a cough, it's the cough. Okay, so it'll be really interesting that now that we're having this whole cough conversation, how many people that you end up being around that have the cough. So Veronica says, Rita's boyfriend passing it back and forth. Yeah, a little of that going on. And Nina says, my glands have been swollen also. Ginger tea saves me. And I think that that's great. And I will be drinking a lot of that in the next few days because I have ginger tea in my cabinet. Marcus says, I have a shield of light all around me always, no cough. Well, and like I said, you know, I got sick. And I think I got sick because I was totally exhausted because I was working on the house and just burnt out. Anyway, you know what, guys? I love you all. It's almost time, but I'm just going to go ahead and go. Let's see. Mary says, I had the upper respiratory thing that muted into the cough for 2 weeks. Just got rid of it. Well, I hope I get rid of it. You know, because like I said, I've had the COVID food tastes terrible thing going on for a year now. And now it seems like it's even worse or back to where it was. But I know I didn't have COVID. So I don't know. So Jeannie says a client's boyfriend had it for 2 weeks. And yes, a lot of people are talking about a cough that sticks around. Veronica says, Nature's Sunshine has a lymph drainage liquid that helps. Cindy says, feel better. Thanks, Cindy. And Victoria says, this was fun, Rita. I'm glad I popped in. By the way, love your newest book and left you a review on Amazon. Thank you. I'm going to read it on the show next week. So just FYI. Just waiting for it to show up, but it should be here by next week. Anyway, guys, I'm going to fly. Know that I love you all. Thank you all for tuning into the show today. And as you know, sign up for a session on soulhealer.com. Join my group, Dr. Rita Live on Facebook. Subscribe to my channel, Just Energy Radio, or follow me on Rumble, Psychic Doc on Rumble. And don't forget, if you're interested in becoming a medical intuitive counselor, or certified energy medicine practitioner, AppliedEnergeticsInstitute.com. So, guys, until next week, I'm your host, Dr. Rita Louise. This is Thursday Night Live. I will see you then. Till then, be blessed.